My cousin was the golden boy while I was the family's joke. At the reunion, my aunt gushed about his job. I said, I just signed his paycheck. But let me take you back to where this all started, because the full story makes it so much better. Growing up, Brandon was untouchable. Golden hair, perfect grades, varsity letters in 2 sports. Every family dinner turned into the Brandon show. When he got accepted to state with a partial scholarship, my parents threw him a party with a cake that had his face on it. When I graduated community college 2 years later, my dad handed me $50 and said, good job, sport. Brandon got a brand new Civic for his 16th birthday. I got a bus pass and a lecture about responsibility. He went to college in a dorm. I commuted from home and worked nights at a warehouse to pay tuition. Every holiday, every birthday, every random Sunday dinner, the conversation always circled back to Brandon's latest achievement. Meanwhile, I was invisible. I started my first business at 23, a small staffing agency working out of my garage. I'd cold call companies during the day and send out resumes at night. It failed within 8 months. Burned through my savings. My second attempt lasted a year before I had to shut it down. I was 26, broke, and living in a studio apartment that smelled like mildew. Nobody in my family knew I tried again. They just assumed I was bouncing between dead-end jobs. At Thanksgiving that year, Aunt Linda asked if I was still figuring things out. Brandon had just landed an internship at some tech company. Everyone raised their glasses to toast him. I sat there eating mashed potatoes wondering if I'd ever get a toast, but I didn't quit. I took everything I learned from failing twice and built it better. I focused on tech recruitment, specialized in placing software engineers and data analysts at growing companies. Started small, 1 client at a time. Spent 3 years grinding, networking, learning the industry inside and out. No one came to my office opening. They were too busy celebrating Brandon getting hired full-time at Horizon Technologies. Then things shifted. My company started landing bigger contracts. We became the go-to firm for mid-sized tech companies looking for talent. 5 years in, I had 20 employees and consistent 7-figure revenue. Last year, a venture capital group approached me. They wanted to acquire my company and fold it into their portfolio. The number they offered had 8 figures. I said yes. The deal kept me on as director of client relations. I'd oversee partnerships and manage key accounts. One of our biggest clients, Horizon Technologies, the same company where Brandon works as a junior analyst. I see his name in reports. I approved his department's hiring budget last quarter. I signed off on salary increases for his entire team, including his. I never mentioned any of this to my family. Why would I? They never asked. They were too busy asking Brandon about his corner office aspirations and stock option dreams. So when the reunion invite came, I almost didn't go. But something made me change my mind. Maybe curiosity. Maybe I just wanted to see them all again. I showed up in jeans and a t-shirt, driving my paid-off Toyota. Brandon pulled up in a leased BMW. The contrast wasn't lost on anyone. The backyard was packed. Cousins, aunts, uncles, second cousins I hadn't seen in years. Brandon held court near the grill, talking about his recent promotion. Aunt Linda stood next to him like a proud manager, directing attention his way every chance she got. She spotted me by the cooler. Oh, you made it. Still doing that computer thing? Her tone was sweet, but the pity was obvious. Everyone nearby nodded politely. I'd become the family's gentle failure, the one they felt sorry for but didn't quite know what to do with. Brandon joined the circle, drink in hand. Just got promoted to senior analyst. 6 figures now. He said it loud enough for everyone to hear. Aunt Linda beamed. Some people are just born for success. Others take longer to find their way. She glanced at me when she said it. Brandon laughed, clapping me on the shoulder. No shame in trying different things, man. You'll figure it out. The condescension was so thick I could taste it. That's when I decided enough was enough. I pulled out my phone, opened my work email, and pulled up last month's payroll approval. Turned the screen toward Brandon. His employee ID, salary, department code, everything. His face went completely white. The entire backyard went silent as I said calmly, I approved your raise in March, Brandon. My phone had 15 texts before I reached my car.